The restaurant was bustling with hungry customers, all engrossed in their meals at their respective tables. Suddenly, everyone's attention turned to a distressing scene. 4-year-old Emma running towards her mom with tears streaming down her face. She was in a state of hysterical crying as she reached her mother's arms. Laura, Emma's mom, tried to comfort her and asked her what was wrong, but Emma was so overwhelmed by her emotions that she couldn't speak. She continued sobbing intensely, as if experiencing profound pain. At that moment, Laura carefully examined her daughter's body and identified the source of distress, a problem with Emma's leg. Hi there, lovely folks, welcome back to our channel, and here's an intriguing story for you. A young girl came out of a McDonald's bathroom in tears, and her concerned mom noticed something amiss on her legs. But before we delve into the story, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more fascinating videos. On New Year's Day, Laura and her daughter Emma planned to have a delightful day at the park and treat themselves to some Burgerville, which happened to be Emma's favorite fast food. They were both thrilled to spend quality time together and enjoy the park's activities. As they were about to leave, Laura turned to Emma and asked if she was ready for some fun. Emma eagerly nodded her head, brimming with excitement, unaware of the unexpected events that were about to unfold during their outing. As Laura and Emma reached the park, the radiant sun illuminated their surroundings, making it an ideal day for a park outing. Emma, filled with excitement, rushed towards the swings and eagerly requested her mom to push her. Emma's laughter echoed joyfully throughout the playground as Laura delighted in pushing her daughter on the swings. As Laura's phone began to ring, she turned around to answer the call, while Emma continued playing on the swings. While Laura was engaged in her phone conversation, she suddenly heard a piercing scream. Reacting swiftly, Laura ended her call upon realizing it was Emma who had screamed. She immediately turned around and rushed to find Emma on the ground, having fallen off the swing and scraped her knee. Filled with concern, Laura continued to console her daughter as Emma sobbed. After some time, when Emma had finally calmed down, she asked her mom if they could get some food. Laura promptly got up and assured her daughter that they could indeed get something to eat. They decided to leave the park and headed to the closest Burgerville, which was approximately 10 minutes away. Unbeknownst to Laura, little did she realize that it would have been a better idea to choose a different place to eat rather than going to Burgerville. Upon reaching Burgerville and entering the restaurant, Laura and Emma noticed that it was bustling with customers. Among the crowd, Laura's attention was drawn to a group of teenagers seated in the corner, enjoying their sodas and listening to music. Two of the teenagers glanced at Laura and her daughter and snickered, leaving Laura curious about what they might be thinking. As mentioned earlier, the restaurant was indeed crowded, which also meant that the line to order food was quite long. After what felt like an eternity of waiting in line, it was finally Laura's turn to place the order. As she ordered their food, she asked Emma to sit at a table in the corner and wait there. Obediently, Emma followed her mom's instructions and settled at the table, playing with her toys. However, the peaceful atmosphere was disrupted by a sudden scream that echoed throughout the restaurant. The scream came from one of the teenagers who were seated in the corner. The group got into a heated altercation, resulting in them yelling at each other and starting a fight. Laura promptly rushed over to Emma, providing comfort and attempting to divert her attention from the commotion by engaging in conversation. Meanwhile, restaurant staff swiftly intervened and separated the fighting group, eventually escorting them out of the establishment. Despite the disturbance, two teenage girls from the group remained seated at the table. Finally, the time had come to enjoy their meal. The aroma of burgers and fries lingered in the air as Laura and Emma began savoring their well-deserved lunch, putting the earlier turmoil behind them. As they sat in the midst of their meal, Emma joyfully savored her kids' meal, while Laura relished her chicken burger and fries. During their mealtime, Emma gave her mom a serious yet innocent look and whispered, "Mommy, I need to use the toilet." With a content smile after finishing the last bite of her cheeseburger, Emma wiped her hands and stood up to make her way to the restroom. As Emma approached the restroom, she noticed that the door's lock was engaged, indicating that someone was inside. Curiosity piqued, she glanced back at her mom, who smiled in response. As Emma stood outside the restroom, she heard laughter and giggles emanating from within. Patiently waiting for a few minutes, the door eventually opened, and to her surprise, the two teenage girls from earlier emerged together, sporting smirks on their faces. As Laura observed the girls walking past Emma, she felt somewhat intimidated by them. Wanting to ensure her daughter's safety and comfort, Laura gestured for Emma to enter the restroom and assured her that she would wait outside. As Laura patiently waited for Emma at their table, she suddenly heard a scream originating from the restroom. The sound immediately caught her attention and raised her concern, wondering what could have caused such a reaction. With a terrified expression, Emma screamed as she rushed out of the bathroom, tears streaming down her face. Laura, as a caring mother, quickly got up from her seat. Nothing is more distressing to a parent than hearing their child scream. Emma sought refuge in her mom's comforting embrace, sobbing uncontrollably. Laura, deeply concerned, immediately went to the restroom to investigate what had caused her daughter's distress. She carefully scanned the entire room, but to her surprise, she couldn't identify any obvious reason for Emma's outburst. Determined to understand the situation, Laura continued examining the surroundings, hoping to find the cause behind her daughter's sudden outburst. As Laura investigated the restroom, she observed several toilet paper rolls scattered on the floor, and the faucet was dripping. Curiosity led her to check the toilet seat, and that's when she discovered the cause of her child's outburst. Upon closer inspection, she noticed that the seat appeared to be covered with a white, sticky substance. As Laura approached for a closer look, she soon realized that the substance was blue. This discovery shed light on the reason behind her daughter's sudden distress. Upon examining the toilet seat, Laura discovered that it had been deliberately smeared with superglue. Realizing that someone had done this intentionally, she was filled with anger and frustration. She swiftly stormed out of the restroom, her heart pounding, and raised her voice, calling for the manager and all the restaurant employees. Laura rushed to her distressed daughter, who was still crying and in pain. She carefully checked on Emma to assess the extent of the damage and was heartbroken to find that her daughter's skin had been peeled off at the back of her legs. While holding Emma in her arms, Laura comforted her, providing support and reassurance during this distressing ordeal. Emma was filled with terror, and her mother, Laura, seethed with anger. Despite holding back tears, Laura called out for help from the surrounding crowd. Hannah, the assistant manager at Burgerville, had encountered various challenging situations during her 15 years in the industry, from minor scuffles over fast food to dealing with unruly customers. However, she had never encountered anything quite like this before. With Laura's plea for assistance, Hannah and her co-workers gathered around Emma, offering medical aid. They carefully cleaned and bandaged her wound while Emma continued crying in her mother's embrace. Afterward, Laura decided to take Emma to the nearest hospital, and she reached out to a family member for assistance. However, the help provided at the restaurant was not enough for Laura, and she felt a strong urge to take further action. Laura decided to take matters into her own hands and shared the incident on her personal Facebook account, hoping it would lead to justice for her daughter. In her post, she addressed the two young blonde girls responsible for the prank, expressing her concern for her 4-year-old daughter Emma, who had been deeply affected by their actions. After conducting investigations, the police found and interviewed the two girls. They admitted to their wrongdoing and sincerely apologized to Laura and Emma. Although they claimed it was a prank gone wrong, Laura wondered if their apology was enough to erase the terrible memory etched in her daughter's mind. Fortunately, the police took appropriate action against the girls, which provided some relief for Laura. The incident still haunted her, but seeing her daughter play peacefully brought some comfort. This story serves as a reminder that pranks can have unintended consequences and can deeply affect others. Laura's experience serves as a cautionary tale for those who enjoy playing tricks on others to consider the potential impact on their victims. Before engaging in any prank, it is crucial to think about the potential harm it could cause and ensure that no one gets hurt in the process.